Hey guys, Czar here. Hope all is well. It's 10:04 a.m. You see these opening candles here. Opening 30 minutes. Now we're into the next 30-minute candle. I'm looking to take a short here if we get a little bit of a pullback, which is actually happening right now. And getting ready now. I need to pull back and now, guys. Short below. If it breaks the low of itself, and watch myself, I can go to my own platform. Okay, live order, guys, right there. Live order, not in. I need this candle to break itself in order to get into this thing. And then we're going to take it all the way to the bottom. And I'm in. Triggered in now, guys. Short the Dow. Short the Dow. Stop above current candle. Actually going to go for 80 points on this one. Fairly significant. 1.7 hour, risking 1 to make 1.7. All right, now patience. I'll put you on pause for now, guys, and I'll bring you back as this trade plays out. All right, pause now. All right, I'm back here, guys, driving down just a little bit. I'm going to show you the sisters, the three sisters, NASDAQ, S&P, and the Dow, from left to right. The red line is the New York Open, and you'll see there's a bit of a divergent price action happening here with NASDAQ holding up really well relative to the New York Open, relative to the S&P, and of course the Dow, the one that I am short. Watching these as well. What I'd like to see, of course, is more weakness in the NASDAQ as well, so that we can see a concerted effort amongst all participants in the U.S. market saying that it's time for stocks to go down, time to sell, in which case that would help our case here on the Dow, right? Bring you back down to the main trading train. You'll see we're sitting here at break even, and now I'm going to be a little patient here for this to play out. Either I'm going to get stopped out and pay a routine expense of 1 R, or I'm going to hit profits and make 1.7 R approximately. Now I might change that, by the way, as we go, and manage this as we go. I might, if we get a chance, I might tighten the stop a little bit here, reducing the risk even further, or I might even tighten the target. We'll see. It all depends on what the market has to offer us in terms of candle anatomy, candle biology. I'll put you back on pause now. And we're back here, guys, driving down a little bit. Just being patient with this now. It's a nice move. Let's see if we can go all the way to the promised land on this. It'll be coast to coast on the VWAP. Maybe I'll just flip that up there right now so we can see that. It gives you an idea right there. All right. Watching. Just being patient here, guys, for this to play out. All right, let's take a look at the Three Sisters, guys. See what's going on here. All right, S&P being the weakest here so far. Well, not quite. Dow's doing pretty well too. Given that the Dow's already met the London Open, kind of bouncing off, actually rejecting from there, whereas the S&P has not. So there's some interesting moves here. Definitely not fully congruent and synchronous across all three of them, which I do like to see. I'd like to see them being synchronous, I mean. Dow breaking down again. Let's go back over to the trading screen. Need one more push here. We're looking for 80 points, as I mentioned, 1.7R. Patience. As you will hear me say often, amateur trader will often take profits now because they've had a nice move. They can lock the profits in the bag, and I'm not going to do that. We're going to hold out here for the full target. Excuse me, guys. My voice is really struggling today. Dry air in here. Got the heaters going. It's a little chilly today after a little bit of a warm spell, but appreciate your patience with my throat. Watching this thing now. Back to the Three Sisters. This is VWAP. Trading views being a little chunky today. All right, so we got some space to go here. Yeah, we went from 1 1/4 standard deviations back to 1 1/4. We're there now. Sometimes when you have that measured move either side, we get a little bit of support here and some buying. We'll see if that happens. Don't want that, of course, in this trade, but that might be the way this is going to go. We'll see. It's 10:18 a.m. right now. We're still in the opening hour. I'm hoping that there'll be enough volume and liquidity here to move this thing along. Just being patient here, guys. I know I keep repeating that, and I do that, by the way, for myself too. And you might take that as, if you're a newer trader, take that as a lesson as to how to talk to yourself. And you'll notice I play a nice, relaxing soundtrack in the background. I play that all day long, by the way, whether I'm on a video or not. It's in my headphones. And I will often trade London, all of London from beginning to end, and all of New York from beginning to end with that soundtrack or something similar. Lately it's been this one, playing nonstop, and it keeps me anchored into a relaxed and calm state of mind. Some people will think that I only do that for the video background, and it's not true. It's part of my mental game protocol, if you will. And again, each trader needs to decide what that combination of elements is and tools are to manage their own psychology. We're all unique. We'll take different things for different people. For me, music is a powerful tool. I grew up with music in a musical home. It's very meaningful to me. I'm not suggesting this is great music or high quality music or anything of that nature, but it's got a particular rhythm and tempo that just kind of keeps me light, or helps to keep me light. Obviously, I can't give music all the credit. There's a lot of self-discipline and impulse control going on at the same time. And many years of working at it. Guys, I'm going to put you on pause for now to save you from the grind. We're 12 minutes in already. Now, this might hit target without me being on play, but I'm going to try to catch it here for you if we get there. I'm kind of speaking a little positively, aren't I? Here we go. Hope I didn't jinx it. Pause now. All right, guys, we're back. You see you got a bit of an adverse excursion happening here. All right. So this trade is pulling back, as you can see. Adverse excursion, but it's not over yet. This would be a routine pullback, but it's doing what I had suspected may happen. If you remember, right here on the VWAP, the measured move from 1.25 standard deviations to 1.25 standard deviations, very precise. You'll notice that here to the pip, right? And right here. And now finding support, rallying back to VWAP. And this will often be where the turning point will happen. We're going to watch this play out real time. This could get pretty fun. Let's watch this unfold. I'll put you back on pause for it. Let me just take you back to the trading screen, show you where we are. I'm going to put you back on pause, but I'll bring you back as this begins to happen. All right, I'm back. A few minutes have passed. You can see that we're just kind of reversing here and driving down a little bit. We'll see if this is going to continue. But you see that arrow there? Remember what I drew? Well, of course, it's only been a second or two for you. It's been a few minutes for me because I put you on pause. But there it is. All right, there's that rejection. So the measured move. Pip to pip. Support, as we discussed earlier, right to VWAP, to the pip, and now selling off. Doesn't always happen that cleanly, of course, but today it is for now. And this could absolutely, by the way, look, this could absolutely pull back here and then continue higher. But you can see the general concept here as it's playing out. Important to know these things, to learn these things over time. It does make a difference in your ability to decipher the dance in the moment. Now just being patient for a continuation move here. All right, put you on pause for now, guys. All right, guys, I'm back. You see we are still going into this negative excursion after all, but here's what I'm going to do. You don't see me do this very often. I'm going to move my stop back a little bit here. And this is not a panicky move or trying to, break my rules because I'm I'm panicking or anything like that. This is because of what I'm seeing here over on the VWAP. Looking for the measured move. I think this is probably going to round over and come on down here now. And I'll show you why I'm making this exception when it comes to moving stops. Not something I normally do. And you will know that if you watch my nearly 400 videos on YouTube. So the measured move ends at 056. You can go back to 056. So I'm safe, relatively safe here at 068. 068. It's giving me just a little bit more room. So now the risk would actually be, kind of almost a 1-to-1 instead of a 1 to 1.7, I believe is what we started at. Don't quote me on that, but it's the beginning of the video. All right, put you back on pause, and we will take it from here. Hey guys, we're back. It's kind of grinding sideways now. Again, I just want to make it clear that the reason I moved my stop further back is only after this had been printed, right? Until this had been printed and giving us this information that the 1 1/4 standard deviations was holding true, was being respected, and that we had this measured move from here to here, and then from here to here. So measured move, rejection, rejection, and then back to VWAP, and then this move down. Now we could reasonably expect that this move would follow a measured move extreme, right? At the extreme, you can see it's actually failing earlier here so far. But we need to be able to give it this much length right there, whether it's a zigzag or straight line, doesn't matter, to be fair to the move, to be fair to the trade idea. And that's why I gave the trade a little more room. Again, that was not a reactionary thing. It wasn't like, oh my God, I can't take the loss. I need to move my stop to stay in this thing. As you can hear by my tone and the mindset behind it, I want to make that very important distinction, because the general rule is to never move your stops backwards, or for me to never move my stops backwards, unless the dance defines that, or dictates that. And so that's what I'm doing here with new printed information. You start off with the stop that makes the most sense, and as you gain more information from candle biology and candle anatomy, you begin to make decisions on that basis, but never anything extreme. I mean, if I'm all of a sudden moving my stop way back to here, or beyond the prior day's high, which is up here somewhere, then we're getting a little crazy, right? Now we're doing the wrong thing. We're just talking about a few points here for very good and logical, rational reasons. And I'm beating a dead horse on purpose so that nobody can say that, well, Czar says you can or you should move your stops backwards. No, 99% of the time you should not move your stops backwards unless you have information like this that makes sense. Okay, back on pause now. Back, guys. A few minutes have passed. Again, I apologize for my voice today. This thing's trying to come down. Three Sisters. Notice the NASDAQ is still very much holding up above the New York Open. S&P is just below, and the Dow is so far the weakest, and thankfully, the one that I'm short out of the three. But we need a little more action here to get this thing really going. Let's take a look at VWAP. And that's what I meant here, guys, about obviously the original move was supposed to be here, and it zigzagged, gave us a measured style move, didn't go the full measurement, and now selling down, right? So that's the measure of this one. And, this is just the way markets typically work. You see this measured move has been met, right? So this might be the end of it. We could find support here at this double bottom, which is fairly textbook, and then rallying up from there, in which case this trade won't work out. But I'm going to stay with it and see if we can get this thing to reach the promised land with lots of patience and understanding, and just believing the long-term edge. I'll put you back on pause. back, guys. You see some action happening here now. I don't know if any news came out. I don't think so. Let's see if we can finish this thing off. Just gonna watch together. And just being patient here, guys. Hard to do, not gonna lie. It's tempting to take profits here. There's the VWAP move we're talking about. We're trying to get back down here to the bottom, just a little bit beyond, actually. Patience. I'm actually going to move my target to the bottom of this wick. I need a wick fill because now it's 11:15. We're getting into the twilight zone. So I just need this to tap the bottom, and we'll take 59 points. Let's make it 60, guys. We're going to make it 60 points. I need a little bit further than that. Looking for a 60-point move here. And stop to above this wick here. Looking for a 60-point trade. And that's because we had to wait so long. We're now 11:17. Frankfurt is closed, regular trading hours. And London is wrapping up in the next 13 minutes. And then we get into the twilight zone, which is a grinding period. So we're asking for this volatility to continue beyond where we would normally see it. And so but I want to make sure that I'm not being too greedy here. Or as we would say at Merrill Lynch, don't be a dick for a tick. It's a well-known expression in trading. Those who've been around certainly since the old days. It's don't be too greedy. I mean, there's an argument to take profits right now, but I'm not going to. I'm going to hold out for this wick fill down here. Patience. Toying with me at this point, just a little bit. Can we flip and drop? Let's see. All right, guys, back on pause. All right, guys, you can see we have to be very, very patient here. Another adverse excursion. We came very close here and then pulled all the way back to near break even. And now driving down again. Maybe this will be the final one. Let's see if we can get this thing done, shall we? Looking for those 60 points now. 11:31. That means the UK is closed. It's now. I'm hoping this thing can just drop by gravity to the promised land. But now we're entering the twilight zone where things can get a little sluggish. We'll see if this thing can complete. Pushing now. Come on, Dow, you can do it. It's been a long video, guys. 29 minutes already. Half an hour. The trade, of course, has been a lot longer than that. Entered this trade at 10:05, and it's now 11:30. So an hour and 20 some odd minutes. But thankfully, I've been putting it on pause and allowing the grind just to kind of play out here. But I would like you to be here live while this thing hits target, assuming it does. It's not an assumption one should make, of course. I'm feeling reasonably good about this one. Here we go, guys. One more push. Can we do it? Snag some of those stops that are sitting under here. Get that little pop. Let's see it happen. Here we go. One more. Oh, so close. That was the actual tip of that wick right there. One more and done, guys. Thanks for staying with me. I know it's a long video. 60-point win. Appreciate your time. Have an amazing day. We will talk soon. Take care.